OpenAI recently launched something that sounds small until you think through the implications: personal finances in ChatGPT. This is not just another budgeting prompt. US Pro users can connect supported financial accounts, see a dashboard of where their money is going, and ask questions grounded in actual financial context. That means balances, transactions, investments, bills, subscriptions, goals, and financial memories can become part of the conversation. The headline is simple: ChatGPT is moving from generic money advice into a personal financial interface, and that is a much bigger shift than a new chatbot feature. OpenAI's official help page says Finances is currently available to pro users in the United States on web and iOS, rolling out gradually. The path is pretty direct. Open Finances from the ChatGPT sidebar or ask @Finances to connect accounts. ChatGPT then guides the user through linking accounts through Plaid, with Intuit support coming soon. After authentication, the data syncs and categorizes. The important detail is not just the login flow. It is that ChatGPT now has a dedicated finance surface, instead of forcing every money question into a blank chat box. The dashboard is where this gets interesting. OpenAI lists spending by category: spending this month, upcoming payments, subscriptions, bills, net worth, portfolio distribution, and market updates. That is not a normal chat feature. That looks more like the homepage of a finance app. But the interface is conversational, so you can ask things like where you spent the most, which subscriptions you're paying for, what bills are coming up, or whether you are on pace with a grocery budget. The product is no longer just an answer, it is your financial context plus a reasoning layer over it. This is different from old budgeting apps because the user does not only see charts, they can ask follow-up questions in normal language. OpenAI gives examples around saving, subscriptions, travel spending, investment risks, scenario planning, and goal planning. The core change is that the model can compare what you say you want with what your accounts show is actually happening. A generic assistant says, "Cut dining out." A context-aware assistant can say, "Here are the specific categories drifting, here is the recurring bill you forgot, and here is a realistic plan that does not pretend your life is a spreadsheet." The safety line matters here. OpenAI says ChatGPT can help users understand, plan, and evaluate financial decisions, but it cannot take financial actions. The help page lists things it cannot do: move money, pay bills, change account settings, make trades, open or close financial accounts, file taxes, or act as a financial, legal, tax, or investment advisor. That boundary is important because finance is high stakes. If this works, the first version is not an autonomous money agent, it is a planning and insight layer that needs to earn trust before anyone would want it touching real actions. Plaid's post explains why this is a real infrastructure moment. OpenAI is not manually integrating with every bank one by one. Plaid says it connects more than 12,000 financial institutions and supports major account types, from checking and savings to crypto wallets and investments. That matters because personal finance only becomes useful when the assistant sees enough of the picture. One card account is a gimmick. Broad coverage, transaction intelligence, and user-controlled permissions start to look like an operating layer for AI finance. The other important piece is memory. OpenAI says users can share context like a mortgage, a savings goal, rent split with a partner, or money owed to parents, and ChatGPT can save that as financial memory. That is powerful, but it also raises the bar for controls. The help page says users can disconnect accounts, delete financial memories, use temporary chats that do not access connected finances, and manage whether connected account conversations follow their model training settings. In other words, the product is not only about intelligence, it is about whether users feel in control of extremely sensitive context. So the takeaway is this: OpenAI did not just add another category to ChatGPT, it pushed ChatGPT closer to becoming a personal operating system. Calendar, documents, code, now financial context. The immediate feature is a dashboard and better answers. The strategic direction is much bigger. If users trust one assistant to understand their accounts, goals, subscriptions, debt, taxes, and future plans, then banks, budgeting apps, brokerages, and fintech startups all have to rethink their interface. The winner may not be the app with the prettiest chart. It may be the assistant that understands the trade-off you are about to make before you make it.